Hi everyone, I'm Naomi, and this is the fourth class in my Yoga for Beginners series. Today is all about upper body and shoulders and learning how to use your upper body a little bit more safely, but also with more strength so that you can support yourself in those very familiar poses that use your upper body in yoga, like downward facing dog or Cobra Pose, or anything where you're going to have to bear weight in your arms. So let's get started. So the first thing that I want to do is do something that I like to call rhomboid flossing. So you can come onto your hands and knees if you'd like something underneath your knees. You can put a blanket underneath your knees for support. Place your hands as wide apart as your shoulders and your knees as wide apart as your hips. And once you're here, press into your fingers really powerfully, and you'll recognize this action from learning downward facing dog in the first video. But all you're doing here is using this pressure to press up and away from the floor, so you're rounding through your upper body, and then drawing your shoulder blades towards one another so that your chest gets heavy and drops towards the floor, in between your arms. Now your arms stay straight, so you're not bending your elbows. Arms stay straight, core of your body stays lifted, so nothing's moving around here. Okay, stay really steady through your upper body. Press up, so you're pressing away from the floor, and then root your chest down towards the earth. So the center of your chest gets really heavy, and your arms will slide into your shoulder socket. And go up again, and down again. So gravity helps you here. So the first one, you push away, your upper body is going to round quite a bit, and then as you drop down, your chest moves towards the floor, it gets a little heavier, and it sinks down. What doesn't sink down is your belly though, so it's not like a complete collapse. Okay, so a few more times, floss your rhomboids. So you can press away from the floor, and then root down towards the floor. So your arms stay steady and strong, your chest gets heavy in between your arms. And then push up again, and down again. Up again, down again. So it's a little bit like a sewing machine. Right? Go up, down, up, down. One more time, up, and down. And then from here, keeping this engagement in your upper body, shift your hips back towards your heels, lift your knees, and push into downward facing dog. So you should feel a lot more steady through your upper back, a lot more strength through your arms, and you should also feel like you have the ability, the freedom actually, in your upper back to press back from your chest through your hips a little bit more. Okay, take a full breath in. Full breath out, lower your knees all the way down to the floor. So just to give you a little bit of an idea of what you're doing, you're working your shoulder blades, your scapula, and the muscles that connect your scapula to your spine are your rhomboid muscles. That's why I call it rhomboid flossing. So you're literally actually flossing your rhomboid muscles. So it's a really, really great thing to do when you're feeling tension in your upper back or tightness there. It's really good if you have frozen shoulder or even rotator cuff injury. It can be really, really healthy for your rotator cuff by just integrating your arm bone using gravity. Okay? So now you're going to engage your scapula in a completely different way. So you can move your blanket off of your mat, place it to the side, and stand. Take your arms up with your palms facing forward. Claw the air like a baby tiger. You can growl like a baby tiger too if you want, just a little like, just a little. Okay? So you're going to do this action that I call tiger paw. So as you drag your fingers down through the air, your elbows bend, your upper back engages, and you should feel those same muscles that you felt during that rhomboid flossing activity engage, and then re-extend. So take a full breath in, and as you exhale, drag your tiger paws down through the air. Your elbows should come about to shoulder height, and then re-extend. Okay, same as in rhomboid flossing, you want to make sure that you're not arching through your back as you pull down, because then you're just going to get some low back trauma, so you've got to keep your core intact. Okay, pull down, engage your upper back so you feel your shoulder blades working, your rhomboids drawing your scapula towards your spine, and then re-extend. Okay, pull down, drag your fingers through the air so you feel your upper back engage, and then re-extend. Okay, one more time. Drag those fingers down through the air to engage your upper back so your head and neck are free, and then re-extend. And then let it go and roll out your shoulders. So that action, drawing your shoulder blades in towards your spine, is the same thing that you're going to feel in a pose like Cobra Pose, which is our next pose. So come onto your belly, please. Okay, now to prep for Cobra Pose, we're going to do Gecko Pose first. So Gecko Pose is kind of like what it sounds like. Okay, you're up on your fingertips, like a gecko, like you could walk up a wall. So come up onto your fingertips, take your hands a little bit wider than your shoulders. It's about as wide apart as your mat. Extend your legs straight back. Your feet should be as wide apart as your hips, and I know that's hard to see, but make sure they're just not as wide as your mat, right? Bring them close in. Okay, press through your fingertips, and as you press through your fingertips, you can actually slide your scapula, your shoulder blades, towards one another, and that will give you the power to lift your chest away from the floor. Now, yes, it's a lot of work on your fingers. It's okay, you're not going to be here for long. Squeeze your legs towards one another to give yourself just a little bit more of a boost, and then lower all the way back down and rest. We're going to do it again. Okay, walk your fingertips out to the sides. Come up onto your fingertips. As you press into your fingertips, okay, lift your elbows and draw your shoulder blades in. Okay, now the more you press into your fingertips, the more you extend back through your legs, the higher up you can go. Okay, now give your legs a good squeeze so that you don't feel any pressure in your low back. And take your head back just a little. So it's not chin back. Oh, that feels gross. Head back. It's like somebody's pulling my ponytail in a totally friendly way. Take full breath in and exhale, lower all the way down. Okay, now to build that into Cobra Pose, let's stretch out your legs just a little bit so that you have more strength and more awareness in your legs. So prop yourself up on your forearms, bend your right knee, reach for your right foot with your right hand, and pull your foot in. Okay? Now to keep this out of your low back, lift your hips a little bit away from the floor if you need to. Otherwise your hips can be down, but try not to sink into the earth because that will definitely put more weight into your low back and lessen your quads, which is what we want right now. It's what I want right now. You might want it less, but you need it if you're going to backbend. Your backbends mostly originate from your legs, from the strength of your legs, and the action of moving your spine comes from the strength of your legs, but then the engagement of your upper back. So you need both. You're going to let go of your right leg. You bend your left knee, reach for your left foot with your left hand. And keep your right hand pointing forward if you can. If you need to, you can turn it sort of diagonally across your mat. I personally prefer it to be forward, okay, straight forward as opposed to across, mostly because that keeps my shoulder in line. It keeps my shoulders safer. You keep your right leg strong and steady. So you want to squeeze your right leg towards the center line of your body. And if you need to, just get a little bit lighter through your pelvis so that you're not sinking down into the ground. Okay, full breath in, full breath out, and let that go completely. Okay, now place your hands next to your chest for Cobra Pose. I'm just going to keep kicking this blanket out of the way because you don't want anything underneath your feet. You don't want anything underneath you really at all except for a yoga mat. But you do want your forearms to be forearm perpendicular to the floor and your upper arms parallel. Okay, so you don't want your hands out in front of you. You want your fingers to line up with your chest. You know, press into your fingers, and just like you did in Gecko Pose, as you press into your fingers, lift your shoulders up. Okay, see that? So this is down. This is no fun. Lift them up. Okay, now keep your shoulders lifted. Press into the floor and pull your chest forward and up out of your legs. So your legs have to be really engaged or really strong. Okay, keep squeezing them out with your fingers. Take a full breath in. Head very gently back and lower all the way down. And rest for a sec. Okay, give it a little wiggle. Because you're going to do that again. Super important to use your legs here. Super duper important. Okay, I cannot stress enough that your legs are what power your backbends. And if your legs aren't engaged, if your leg muscles aren't active, meaning your muscles are squeezing the bones, your bones, not anybody else's bones, right? Your muscles are squeezing your bones, right? And your bones are pulling in towards the center of you, right? So you're centralizing your power. Okay, if you have that, your backbends will be pain-free. If you don't have that, it's a little tricky, right? Okay, second one, Cobra Pose. Hands next to your chest, so pretty far back, okay, as opposed to out in front of you. Hands far back. Press into your hands to lift your arm bones and your shoulders up. Squeeze your elbows towards one another. Squeeze your legs in towards the center. and pull your chest forward and up. So remember, this is Cobra Pose. You want to think of like a cobra about to strike. So you're swelling through your chest. Your head goes back a little bit as you look at your prey. Take a full breath in. Keep your legs strong as you transition all the way back down. And rest. Give a little wiggle if you need to. But honestly, if you are engaging your legs, your low back should feel pretty good. The truth is that the lower down you are, like if I'm not using my arms and I try to lift up, that's a lot more work for my back. Okay, if I use my hands, my arms, my shoulders, and my legs, it's a lot less work for my back. Okay, so use your hands, use your arms, use your legs. Don't do any of this like hovering cobra. Right? Save that for when your back is stronger. Walk your hands back. Last one. Press into your mat, squeeze it, lift your shoulders up, curl up. Keep your legs super strong and swell up through the center of your chest like a big, regal cobra about to strike. With love, striking with love. Full breath in. And as you exhale, lower all the way, back, down. And then roll over onto your back. Okay, so one more fundamental back bend, which is bridge pose. So as you come onto your back, if you are feeling any tension in your low back, any at all, just in case, take your feet as wide as your mat and just drop your knees over to the left. And then lift them back up and drop them over to the right. And that'll just give you a little bit more space in your low back, which is nice. Bring your knees back up and bring your feet to hip width apart. Now the way that you can find hip width apart is actually bring your feet together and then heel toe. So take my heels out once and my feet out once. And that for me gets to hip width apart. Okay, I suspect it will for you too. Okay, now for bridge pose, bend your elbows. So your fingers point up towards the ceiling, and you can imagine that you're holding a block in between your hands, or a ball, or a baby, if you're into that. That's kind of a weird way to hold a baby, but you get the general idea. Now press into your elbows to lift your chest. Okay, press into the back of your head, press into your elbows to lift your chest, and you should get this really nice arch through your spine, all the way from your upper back down to your low back. So your low back is not in contact with the floor, just your butt, your head, and your shoulders and your feet. Okay, full breath in. As you exhale, lift your hips up. Okay, now you can keep your arms just like this, or you can stretch your arms straight out, or you can interlace your fingers beneath your back. If you do that, roll one arm in and underneath you, and then the other arm in. Okay, what you don't want to do is like pull down, just roll in. So you go from one side to the other. But it's also nice just to be here with your fingers pointing towards the ceiling. Okay, drop your butt just a little bit. And with your butt dropped down, see if you can lift your chest up just a little higher, and then lift your hips up. Okay, your neck should feel free and open. There should be no pressure in your neck. A lot of work through your upper back, your legs. Take one more full breath in, and as you exhale, lower all the way down, let go. So a couple of really important things about bridge pose. Notice while I was in the pose, I didn't turn my head at all to look at you. You shouldn't be looking either when you're in bridge pose. Okay, you want to keep your gaze pointed straight up towards the ceiling. So because your head is weight bearing here, if you turn your head in bridge pose, you can actually really hurt yourself. Like if I turn my head and my chest is lifted, that's a big stretch for your neck muscles. So it's not a good idea. So you want to keep your gaze pointed straight up. Okay, because we're going to do it again. Good news, you get another opportunity to try. Okay, but keep your gaze pointed straight up. Okay, make sure that you're not tensing your butt so much that you're going to lose circulation in your tailbone. Right, try to keep it engaged but spacious, somewhere nice and in between. And keep your feet really strong on the floor. So you gotta press down through your feet, even dig into your heels. So let's try it with one more bridge pose. Press into your elbows to help lift your chest. And as you do, press into your head. Okay, so that should give a little bit of space between your neck and the floor, and you want to keep as much of that as possible. Okay, and even tilt your pelvis forward so you get a nice arch through your low back. And then keep all of that arching, all of that room as you lift your hips up. Okay, now your arms can stay right where they are. You can stretch them straight out as though you could reach your feet, or you can interlace your fingers. And if you do, just roll one arm at a time underneath you, and that'll give you a lot of support. So if you need more support, this is a good place to be. And if you're doing this here, press into the fist of your hands. Lift your chest up a little higher, dig into your heels, and extend out through the crown of your head. Bridge pose. Don't turn your gaze, so if you're confused at all, just watch me in the pose and then go back in the video and do it again. But don't turn and look. Take one more full breath in. As you exhale, lower your hips down. Take your feet as wide apart as your mats. They should go wider. Drop your knees over to the left. And then bring your knees back up. Drop them over to the right. And then bring your knees back up. Roll to the side. Push yourself up. Okay. And take a comfortable seat. And we'll just do a really basic twist to help unwind your spine. It should actually feel really good. Your upper back should feel nice and open. But bring your hand and you can sit in a comfortable cross-legged seat. Left hand to the outside of your right knee, right fingertips behind you. Full breath in. Full breath out. And then inhale back to center and go to the other side. Right hand to the outside of your left knee, left hand behind you. Full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale back to center. Okay. So that's a little bit of the fundamental actions of your shoulders and a few of the more basic poses for your upper body in yoga. And the really important action that you want to keep in mind no matter what back bend you're doing. So the poses that we did today, in particular that tiger paw action, cobra pose, and bridge pose are poses that you're going to see all of the time in yoga. And they're really good building blocks for the more challenging, more complex back bends. So once you can get a good handle on your upper back actions in those poses, then you've got it made in all of the other back bends. You just have to figure out how to keep your entire body working in the more complex poses. That's really the key. But hopefully this is really helpful. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know if you need some clarification on anything that I offered in this video. And I've got one more coming at you tomorrow in our 5th video of the Beginner's Yoga series. All right, see you then. Bye.